How could I deserve this? I thought to myself. Whether I was asking this to the elusive God I heard once about, or simply letting the words bounce off the walls of my room, I didn't know. I didn't know anything anymore, and I couldn't understand how I got here. People used to say how much I deserved out of life. I was a hard worker, supporting myself and my sick mother while also studying full-time in junior college. I was striving toward my career goals, my future looking bright ahead. But then there was James, the love of my life. Against my family's warnings, I fell for his charm and confidence and that mischievous glimmer in his eyes. With him, I completely lost control. After all, we were madly in love, or so I thought. I had to force myself to hear the doctor, my heart racing in fear, but my body froze in an instant at the sound of his life-altering words. "You're pregnant." Terrified and ashamed, I ran to James's house to tell him everything. I thought, surely this man who loves me, he'll know what to do. Seeing me so distressed, James pulled me aside and rubbed my back reassuringly. I felt soothed by his touch, but I knew it was time to tell him the truth. As soon as I said pregnant, I felt his hand drop from my back, that sparkle in his eyes quickly replaced by the darkness of pure anger. "You're what?" he exclaimed. He screamed at me, describing how much I would shame his high-class family, how he would never have a child out of wedlock, and how I better take care of this situation. And then, between gritted teeth, he uttered that hideous threat. "If you don't end this, we're done. I love you, but I'm not gonna stand by and father some kid I never wanted. So finish this already, and then maybe I'll think about marrying you." My life then moved in blurs and slow breaths. I left all that I knew and once dreamed so that I could find relief somewhere. I still couldn't keep the baby, but abortion just wasn't an option for me. I needed help to pursue adoption, and so I found myself at the doors of Miracle Hill's rescue mission. I didn't care if I upset James. Honestly, I didn't even care about him at all. The love I once had for him was now replaced with deep-seated rage. I despised the man who reacted so heartlessly, and I was certain that I could never forgive him. But in the depths of my soul, I knew that my anger was only really hurting me. I wanted to make a fresh start. For the first time, I was surrounded by supportive people who were teaching me about God. I longed to surrender my life to this Savior and find a new hope and a new future with Him. But my seed of bitterness kept blocking the way to true freedom. How did I ever deserve to end up here? I thought again. Before I knew it, it was time to deliver the baby. The adoption plans were all settled through Miracle Hill. Oh, they did so much for me through their prayers and hard work. And I felt prepared to hand my baby over to a stranger. But something in my heart was changing. Drained and so weary, I pushed through delivery, confused by the hopelessness ravaging my soul. But then, as I heard that small, beautiful cry, I opened my eyes to witness life for the first time. The very instant I saw his face, I miraculously felt the Lord break through my heart of stone and flood it with a well of hope, of unbreakable promises, of a selfless love that could only be from heaven itself. I knew in that moment that I could forgive others because Christ had first loved and forgiven me. I was now his child, alive in the light of his mercy. And as I laid down to rest, I said in a small, satisfied voice, "I'm going to keep my baby." As I looked upon my newborn son, perfectly cradled in my arms, I whispered to the heavens, "How could I deserve this? How could I deserve something so beautiful?"